In this video, I'm going to show you how I style my hair, and I'm also going to take you along on a quickie dollar store makeup trip. Then we're going to try the makeup on and see how it works out, all in less than 12 minutes. So let's dive right in. I have coarse, very straight hair. My hairstylist, Joyce, God love her, is 77 years old. She is beautiful, and she does a fantastic job. My hair requires thinning out so that I can actually do something with it and so that I can get those nice textures in there and the depth that I'm looking for. If I'm going to style my hair at all, I have to do it right after I get out of the shower. Otherwise, my hair is so short it will dry quickly while I'm doing my makeup. So this is my first dollar store find that I absolutely love. It's the Got to Be Glued Blasting Freeze Spray. And it says you can spike, cement, or finish your hair with screaming hold, and it is very true. This is probably the best hairspray I've ever used. It may not be the best for your hair, but it holds your hair where you want it to be. Now, I'll put all the products in the description of the video. If you're on a mobile device and you don't know how to get to the description, just tap the three little buttons that are on the right hand lower corner, and that will take you to the description, and then everything will be in there. And because of the way that my hair is cut, I don't have to do a lot to actually get it to stick up in the air. When I was young, I always wanted these really cool hairstyles that I saw in magazines, and I would take a picture into my hairstylist and say, I want this haircut. And then they would tell me, oh, that person has really thin, fine hair, so you can't even do that with your hair if you try. The moral of the story is listen to your stylist. They can help you figure out what's going to look best on you. Then I found this temporary hair color wax in neon orange. This one's by the Magic Collection. So I thought I'd just place it strategically around my head and use it as kind of a highlight. I love stuff like this because you can just wash it out and you don't have to commit to having a whole new color in your hair. Many of you have been asking me for a picture of the back of my head, so here in a moment I'll be finished and I'll show you what the back looks like. And then we're off for some dollar store shopping for makeup. And there's the finished product, and here's the back. It's just a messy do. Which brings us to the dollar store haul. We do a lot of dollar store shopping where I live because we're out in the boonies and there's nothing else. But I found some really goodies here. This one is Maybelline Sensational Gloss. So I had to get one of those and give it a try. And then I was intrigued by this Maybelline Dream BB Cream Fresh. So I grabbed one of those. And then I started looking around and I saw these cute little beauty blenders. Had to get one of them. And then I saw this palette by LA Colors, and those colors were so peachy, and I thought, that looks like me, had to get it. And then my husband and I stood in front of the Believe display, discussing which colors would look best on me for a few moments. And then I grabbed this palette. So let's try the BB cream first. Now this intrigued me because it says on the container, Skin Hydrating Beauty Balm, 8-in-1 Skin Perfector with titanium dioxide sunscreen, SPF 30. I grabbed the one in light sheer tint. And notice I did not put on a primer before this. That's because on the back of this tube it says, blurs imperfections, enhances, brightens, adjusts to your skin tone. Plus it smooths and hydrates. 2 big fat thumbs up on that one. Okay, on to the highlight and blush. You know, LA Colors, I look at them and I think, golly, that's what I used when I was a kid. And I feel like I've outgrown this stuff, but then I try it and I'm like, a lot of this stuff is really good. And here's another LA Colors for the win. This went on beautifully. It did not dry me out. It was not cakey. And I think the color was perfect. Unfortunately, I cannot find anything on the packaging that tells me exactly what shade this is. Then we're on to the Maybelline Sensational Gloss. This one is in Coral Craze. And I'm liking it. Now I'm going to try this new stupid trend that I saw on the internet where you sculpt your nose with a V shape. And spoiler alert, I didn't like it. I had to go back in so many times to fix this. I'm like, why didn't I just do my normal way? And I will make a video on that one day. But I have to try out all these stupid trends just like everybody else. I think this one just made it look like I had a huge hump on my nose, which after watching this, I really do have a hump on my nose. And I'm okay with my humpy, crooked nose. Next, we're going to use a little bit of eye primer. This one's by Revlon. For me, it's normally a no-no to skip this step, so it only takes a second. And then I don't have to worry about my makeup creasing up, so it's worth it. And I'm really excited to try these eyeshadows. So I'm just starting out with a light color all over. Now this one is by Believe, and Believe is only sold at Dollar General stores. You can buy it online, but you have to buy it from their website. And I'm just going in with that darker color and putting it in where my hypothetical crease would be. I actually thought these went on pretty smooth, and I thought that this looked pretty nice. And I decided to just go ahead and do a big old smoky eye look and pull it all the way out into my temple and give myself a little bit of a lifted look. And I'm using my brushes that Motted sent me the other day. Those things are bomb. Now, I wouldn't say that I'm in love with this eyeshadow palette. I think it's pretty, and I will probably use a couple of the colors in it over again. But compared to the little trio palettes that I got by e.l.f. the other day, those were a little bit creamier. They blended a little bit better. And so I'll probably stick with those more than anything. But if you're in the pinch and you can only find makeup from the Dollar General, this is not a bad one. And I'm using my eyeshadow as an eyeliner as well on the bottom and the top. And then I'm just going to kind of brush and smoke that out underneath my eye. Now I bring it all the way in and it's pretty thick under there. This is something that I started trying about 6 months ago, and I like the way it looks, especially when I'm done. I know a lot of people that do makeup, have rules about, well, don't bring it in past this point of your eye because it can drag your eye down and make you look older. And that is true, but you still have to experiment with what looks best on you. And I think it's best to not stop experimenting, because I actually love the way this looks when I'm finished. And you would never think that I just really smoked out my eyeshadow under my eyes all the way in. Now I'm using this trick where you spray your brush with a little bit of setting spray, and I'm doing that because I've actually tried to use some of the shimmery metallic colors in the palette and they didn't show up as well as I wanted to, so that will help them be a little bit more pigmented looking. And I'm using my Cabaret mascara. This is a black waterproof. And I really like that little skinny brush. It does do nice lashes, but it does not give you super length. Hardly anything gives me super length though. Do you have a favorite mascara? If so, I want to hear about it. Please put it in the comments. Now I'm just using my white Waterline eyeliner. And I like to do this when I'm doing that smoky under my eye thing where I bring it all the way in, because this sort of cleans up the look and it also makes my eyes look a little bit bigger. And then I got all crazy on my eyebrow stencils today. I decided I would totally change up my eyebrow look, and I put a super slanted arch on that sucker. I think the cool thing about not having any eyebrows is that you can totally change your look every day if you want to, and just try something new. And I really took the plunge today. I went ahead and just shaved off my tail just to see what it looked like. I think it's because yesterday I did the video on the cancer makeup, and I told this other creator, if she couldn't figure out how to put on her eyebrows, to let me know, and I would shave my brows and show her how to do it from scratch. So I thought, well, why not just shave the stinking tail off and see how it goes? It'll grow back, and it's not like I'm not going to draw my eyebrows on anyway. And if you have one of these stamps and you're having a difficult time putting it on, use a piece of tape like I did in the last frame. It just kind of gives you a little bit of extra stability when you first start with it. Because I know when I first started, I felt really awkward trying to hold it up there with 2 fingers. I felt like my fingers weren't long enough. I couldn't figure out how to do it. But then, like everything else, when you work with it a few times, it gets a little easier. And now I can put on eyebrows in like 60 seconds if I have to, just with those stencils without any tape or anything. But the first 5 times, I looked like I was totally, we'll say, clueless. No matter what kind of brows I'm doing, I like to use a little bit of concealer and just clean up under, shape things the way I want. And then I go the extra mile and clean up on the side of my eye and pat that in. And I've got some music going in the background, so my head is bobbing all over. And if you've watched any of my other videos, you know this is just my cleanup process where everything kind of comes together. And I do my concealer always as a last and final thing. And that's my way of kind of catching any little mistakes or any makeup that's fallen below my eyes, and I can just clean it up all in one fell swoop. And I'm going to go ahead and hit those nasal label folds real quick and bring a little light to them so that they don't look as deep. Thanks for hanging out with me. I post every day, a short or a long. Take care.